My name is Danielle Havis, and today I'm going to be giving an informative speech on cardiopulmonary resuscitation. In the article Cardiopulmonary Resuscitation First Aid on mayoclinic.org, it stated that CPR is a life-saving technique useful in many emergencies, including heart attacks and near drownings, in which a person's heartbeat or breathing has stopped. According to the article CPR Statistics on heart.org, the American Heart Association states that 12 million people are trained in CPR every year, but 70% of Americans would feel helpless in the event of a cardiac emergency. CPR is important during a cardiac emergency as the compressions performed serve as a pump for the heart to continue circulating blood throughout the body and to vital organs. In the article, What is CPR? On heart.org, the American Heart Association states that immediate CPR can double or even triple the victim's survival rate. I have been fortunate enough to be trained in CPR, so now I'm going to discuss and demonstrate the steps of CPR in an adult. Upon arriving to a suspected victim, the first thing you're going to do is try to alert them to see if they're conscious. And you're going to do this by saying, "Hey, are you okay?" If they do not respond, you are going to dedicate a person to call 911 and to find an AED if available. Then you're immediately going to look, listen, and feel to see if you can hear breathing, and also to check the carotid pulse. And you do this very quickly in 10 seconds or less. If you do not have any breathing or carotid pulse, you're going to start with 30 chest compressions. You do this by putting the heel of the palm of your hand in the middle of the chest and your other hand on top, and you're going to compress at least 2 inches. And you allow for the chest to recool in between the chest compressions. Chest compressions need to be done at a rate of 100 chest compressions per minute. When you are done with your first set of 30 compressions, you're going to establish an airway by tilting the head and lifting the chin. You're going to perform 2 rescue breaths at that time, and you need to watch for the chest to rise. This indicates that your breaths are successful. If it does not rise, you need to reestablish the airway. You give 2 quick breaths, and then you immediately go back into the chest compressions. You do this as a cycle of 30 chest compressions to 2 breaths, and after the 5th cycle, or 2 minutes, you're going to recheck for the breathing and for the pulse. If you have 2 people available, you can switch out, and that way you don't both get tired while you're waiting on emergency personnel to get there. If an AED becomes available, you will immediately attach it to the victim, and it delivers an electric shock to the heart to try to get it pumping again, and then it'll dictate what you do next as far as CPR, to continue CPR. Hopefully by that point, emergency personnel has arrived. No matter if you are a seasoned professional or an untrained person, you can make a difference. Since chest compressions are the key essential to CPR, even an untrained person can do hands-only CPR. In the article Cardiopulmonary Resuscitation New Concept, Dr. Kwanga Lee states that the key point to CPR is to remember the analogy CAB, compressions, airway, breathing, in that order. Another key opponent of CPR is the AED. In the article Learn About Automated External Defibrillators, on redcross.org, it states that AEDs could save 50,000 lives per year, and that for every minute defibrillation is delayed, the chance of survival is reduced by 10%. You never know when you may be faced with a medical emergency, so knowing CPR or the basic necessities of CPR can save a life.